Hi, my name is Sarita.
And my name is Rena.
We are both past patients with Mexico Bariatric Center, and we are here to break the stigma of having weight loss surgery in Tijuana, Mexico. We will be covering all things bariatric to help you get the most out of this weight loss journey.
Hey, friends.
Hey, friends.
Hi. Welcome to Can You Stomach This?
Yes, another episode.
Yes, another episode. We're so excited to bring this episode to you today.
Yes.
So I'm going to let Sarita tell you what we're talking about.
Okay, so I had posted a post. I had posted something on Facebook on our main support group page and inside Mexico Bariatric. Mm-hmm. So the post was, I lost weight, but I also lost ...
Dum, dum, dum.
Yeah. So it generated over 200 responses. So I went through every single comment and I pulled off everything. And
they were fun comments.
And they were fun comments, and they were so true. Yes. Things that you might not even think about. So we are going to go over those comments today. So these are real comments from real patients.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So we are so excited about this fun little podcast episode.
Yes, and we have broken them into categories. Yeah. So let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So category 1 is bodies. So survey says
boobs and butt.
That was like the number one thing.
It was the number one answer.
Yeah, the number one answer out of like the 200 plus answers.
Probably half. Yeah, at least boobs and butt.
Was boobs and butt.
Yeah. So that's something that a lot of people lost.
Mm-hmm. And so other things related to body that people said they lost: inches, feet size, of course your belly. Right. You lost your belly, and your face shape. People lost their face shapes.
Yes, you can see their necks.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and we have clavicles.
Clavicles.
It's a clavicle. We have a clavicle.
It's a clavicle. Yes. So for me, one of the things that I lost, Rita, was cushioning for comfort.
I lost that too.
Yeah. I found the tailbone. I think we both did.
Yeah, we both found our tailbones.
Yes. I didn't know that existed.
Right.
I think mine grew after surgery.
Yeah, I feel like it grew out bigger, like we had tails. We're sitting on the bones.
I didn't have one before.
Yeah, so, you lose your padding, your insulation. Mm-hmm. So it's harder to sit in one place for a long time, whether it's driving or flying an airplane. It gets really uncomfortable sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Especially in like straight back chairs.
Yes, but it's worth it.
Oh yeah, worth it. I would listen. I can grab a cushion. I can grab a cushion, a removable cushion. I don't need like a permanent cushion.
Right. I can sit on a pillow.
Yeah.
Like a memory foam.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so being in boobs and butt was like the number one thing. I want to just throw out there that in terms of body image, body does change. It changes a lot. Some people even resort to like body contouring to help like get back that boobs and butt, so to speak, or just kind of some shaping or whatever. So cosmetic surgery is always a thing after, not always, but for some people, they want to do that to correct loose skin or shaping things. What is something else you can do after surgery? It's for body.
So this is what I did. I did body recomposition, and so I reshaped my body through exercise, strength training, and yoga. I actually gained 20 pounds over COVID, and I have lost it now, but I took that 20 pounds and reshaped my booty. Oh. Surprisingly, I can't even believe this happened, but I mean,
You built up some booty muscle?
I built up some booty muscle, and so now it's not flat. I actually have one. So that was good.
So you got that booty flex.
Yeah. So body recomposition is a thing. I mean, a lot of patients do
really
it.
Is.
I have a trainer who helped me through that. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Honestly, some of your training and things that you do, it's really motivational to me. Yeah, you're my inspiration. Yay.
I'm happy. I would like to inspire everyone to.
I think you do.
stay active, keep active, and like it's just so life changing.
I think you are quite inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah. So next category. The next category is things.
Survey says.
Clothes and shoes. People say that they lost their clothes and their shoes. I lost weight, but I also lost clothes and shoes. Yes. So, Sarita, what about you? Tell me about what did you lose?
So I did lose a shoe size, and I lost all my clothes. I mean, technically, I did lose all my clothes. I had to keep, going down the size. But another thing, wrapping a towel around you. Instead of using a bath sheet, you use a regular bath towel, and it wraps around you.
I used to use the extra large beach towel, and even that didn't go all the way around me. Like it would reach here, but then it would not go around.
It would like flare out.
Yeah, and so now I can use like a normal large towel.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a thing, and we have patients that'll post pictures on Facebook with them in a towel, like, look what happened to me, and it's amazing to see all those little changes.
Yeah, so you lost that big towel. I lost that big towel. Clothes, for so long I tried to wear some of the same clothes, and it's like every time a season rolls around, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that old coat out. I'm gonna wear that coat, and then I put that coat on, and it's like.
Yes, I had clothes that I hadn't worn in years. Like some had price tags on them, and I went to put them on, and they were too big, so I had to get rid of them, and I never got to wear them.
I did that too. So like I bought something when I was larger, and I was like, oh, one day I'll be able to wear that. Right. So I left it in the closet, and then the seasons changed, and then when the season rolled back around, it's like, oh, I can wear that brand new thing I never wore. It's too big. Like, yeah,
it was very disappointing, but again, it was a good thing.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. There's more clothes out there.
You resold your clothes, right?
So I would take my clothes to Clothes Mentor, and I would sell my clothes and then get a credit for new clothes. And I would get the next size. And then when I grew out of those, or I grew too small for those, I would take them to Clothes Mentor, sell them, go to the next size. So I did that all the way from size 18 to size 2.
Shrinking away.
Yeah, so like 9 sizes. So I kept recycling my clothes and getting new clothes. And yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. And so, another category that we kind of pulled together from this was medical. And medical is a big category. There were 2 really big categories. Medical was one of the bigger ones, and so there's so many, but survey says go for it, Sarita. Okay. What does the survey say?
So we'll start with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, fatty liver, shortness of breath, symptoms of PCOS, and inability to conceive a child, teeth.
Ooh, also bladder incontinence, rosacea, sleep apnea, snoring, insomnia, aches and pains, especially in like your joints and your back, body heat, chafing, and then also cancer risk. So for me, I would say I lost a lot of those things too. The biggest thing for me was just in general, the insulin resistance. I do have PCOS, so I was insulin resistant, and I don't really have that anymore. But the morbid obesity, like that's...
I don't like that word.
I don't either.
It sounds like death.
I hate that word.
Yeah.
That word is not something that I would ever use until recently.
Right.
And I don't like it. It sounds terrible. And I guess being in that category, medical terminology, being in that category, I just refuse to accept that word.
Maybe doctors use that term to scare you.
Maybe. Hey, that makes sense.
Right? Because they're like...
It's like morbid, like you're close to death.
Right.
You're so fat.
Or they use the word comorbidities.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
That's scary too.
Yeah. So, and then mobility. I mean, there was a lot of things I could do, but there's definitely a lot more I can do now. So, medically, that was kind of the things for me. And then what about for you?
Well, I mean, lowering the risk for heart disease because that runs on my dad's side of the family, and cancer. My mother died of cancer. So, those two things were pretty eye-opening for me. I was pre-diabetic when I had surgery, and so that was another really, game changer for me. It was kind of my wake-up call.
Right. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. And so for sure, when you lose weight, you lose all these things. And so losing weight does reduce your risk of potentially life-threatening weight-related health problems. Right. Also, like heart disease and stroke, even it reduces your risk of that.
Yeah, high blood pressure, you can have a stroke.
If you have like fatty liver, it reduces the effects of that,
right?
And so much more.
There's so much
more. And body heat. So people said they lost body heat. I definitely lost some body heat.
I lost all my body heat.
Yeah,
all my insulation is gone.
Yeah,
like 18% body fat. Like I have nothing. I have to, And we live in a hot state. We live in Georgia, and when it gets cold, here, like we're freezing.
Yes. So body heat is a thing, and so one of the reasons why we lose our body heat is that we have less fat, so we have less insulation.
Right.
And then
your body's not working as hard.
Yeah.
And you're using fewer calories, less energy to maintain to move your smaller body. The less energy you use, the less heat generated by your body. So
yeah, it makes sense. You're just not working up that heater like you used to. And PCOS, several people mentioned that they could have babies or that reduce their risk. You can't actually be cured of PCOS. Yeah. If you have it, you have it, but you can reduce the symptoms. And there's so many symptoms that go kind of unnoticed, I guess,
or maybe like undiagnosed.
Yeah, undiagnosed. But some of the main ones are the insulin resistance and menstrual irregularity and ovary issues. So just dysfunction in the ovaries, and so that prevents a lot of people from being able to conceive. And so many people with PCOS are able to conceive babies after weight loss.
We have so many patients who have PCOS who have the surgery just to, have the chance to possibly have a successful pregnancy. And we've had so many patients become pregnant
and with successful
and they have PCOS. So that's
healthy babies.
Yeah, it's a life changer, a game changer for
sure.
them.
Yep, for sure.
It's a dream come true.
It really is. It's an answer to
prayers.
Yeah, it really is. And so then just losing weight reduces your body pressure. And then in reducing that body pressure, you lose that joint pain. Right. You lose that bladder incontinence because you don't have so much pressure on the bladder. Right. You also, with sleep apnea and things like that, you don't have as much pressure in the chest and in the throat and things like that.
Asthma, using the CPAP machine, losing weight, helps those things.
Yeah. Well. I stopped snoring.
I don't know if I ever snored, but
I did. Good. So bad. So bad. Like I would wake myself up with it.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. It was horrible. I actually used to fall asleep on my phone, like just Facebooking or whatever, and I would like call people and leave voicemails. Me just snoring.
I never did that.
Sounded like a monster. I did this.
Knee pressure.
Yeah.
For every pound you lose, you take 4 pounds of pressure off your knees. So can you imagine if you lost 100 pounds, you took 400 pounds of pressure off your knees? That is like unbelievable.
That's some strong knees.
That is some strong knees.
I lost 200 pounds.
So you took 800 pounds over here of pressure off your knees.
I can't even fathom that.
Right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. But when you think about it, there's a lot of pressure on your knees. It's holding everything up.
That is crazy. 1 pound and then 4 pounds of pressure per 1 pound. That doesn't sound like a lot, but then when you go, you lost 200 pounds, that's no wonder the mobility is better.
Right. And your joints are better. And it's all better.
And, somebody mentioned that they lost their teeth.
Yes.
Yes. And so don't be scared about that, but let's be real. So real talk. With gastric sleeve, that's not really a concern as much because you don't create any malnutrition that way. But if you have a bypass or DS, mini bypass, RNY bypass or DS, you need to make sure you're taking your vitamins
for the rest of your life.
Forever.
You need to add this in because
yes,
you can't go your whole life and not take vitamins. It will definitely catch up with you. We have seen it. Take your vitamins
and make sure you're getting your labs monitored so you know that you're getting all your nutrients and
very important.
Very important because I mean people have lost teeth due to malnutrition, but most of those people would say, you know, they neglected taking vitamins and staying on top of.
I see it all the time.
That kind of stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Take your vitamins.
Yep. So, okay, next category. Relationships. This one's kind of fun. I mean, this one's sad, okay? It really is. It's sad. It's bittersweet, really. Yeah, honestly, it's bittersweet in my opinion. But we had some funny in this because, okay, so survey says I lost some friends that I settled for, right? People that I thought were friends, okay? And then also friends that like to dine out all the time. So people said that they lost those kinds of friends. And what else did people lose?
So we have family, husbands, and we have man-child.
Man-child!
So that's funny.
That is funny.
That is funny.
We thought the man-child was funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sarita, what about you? Did you lose anything when you lost weight? Did you lose anything in a relationship?
I didn't lose any family. I don't have a husband. Don't have a man-child. I don't. I'm single, so I actually did lose some friends who were jealous of my weight loss. And then, you know, there's some friends out there who, you know, their focus is eating out and drinking and things like that. Everything focused around food. And I can't do that anymore. So I wouldn't say I necessarily lost them as friends, but I don't socialize with them as much as I did before. Yeah. But I did lose friends due to jealousy.
Yeah,
and that was sad to me.
Sad. Yeah. And you made new friends.
I made new friends.
You made new friends.
I did.
That's make new friends.
Right. And you know, I'm more social now. So.
Yeah, and that's what happens. So
I'm gonna make more friends.
So in relationships with friends, that's kind of what, really with anybody, that's kind of what happens is the obstacles that you face after bariatric surgery and after losing weight is that you do typically become more social. I mean, some people are pretty social prior to, but
you have more confidence, more self-esteem, and you're happier.
Yeah, definitely, and you become more outgoing.
Right.
You have you have a lack of the same interests that your friends have had.
You try new things. You're more active.
Or even a romantic partner, you know, your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever.
Man-child.
Yeah, man-child. Maybe your interests change, you know. Maybe you don't like doing the same things anymore.
Yeah, maybe your life focused around like sitting on the couch and gorging yourself with food while watching Netflix or something. Right. And then you can't do that anymore. You want to get out there and do active things, and they don't.
Right. Yeah, you just have a whole healthier,
outlook. A lifestyle change.
Yeah. So you sometimes friends may try to promote old habits, unhealthy habits, and you know you try to shy away from that. Right. Like you said, go out. You know, the friends that like to go out drinking or
eating.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Right. And then more self-esteem. You have more self-esteem.
You do.
Especially romantically, you tend to gain self-esteem and confidence and all these things that then in turn creates jealousy and insecurity in your partner. Right. So that
you know, when you start to lose weight, you start to feel better about yourself. You want to look your best, and your partner may be jealous of that, like, you know, fear of losing you, you know, things like that. So
yeah. This happens.
It does happen.
Lose weight, lose friends. Okay, so our next category is emotional.
And the survey says...
Okay, wait, before we get to the survey, this is another big one. Probably the biggest. Don't you think?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the biggest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. It's a mouthful. You ready?
I am.
Okay.
Oh, wait, are we recording now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So,
survey
says low self-esteem and self-pity, self-hatred and loathing, low confidence, insecurities, laziness, lack of energy, self-doubt, sobriety, dependence on others to make me feel happy and fulfill me, low libido, and sexual insecurities.
Oh, that was a lot, but we're not done.
There's more.
People also said that they lost their fears and anxieties relating to being in front of the camera, being fat shamed, judgment from others, flying, sitting in a booth, or just restaurant seating in general, clothes shopping, social events, inability to do things such as riding roller coasters or even being able to ride horseback. And also, some people have said they've lost their compassion for others who are overweight.
Right.
Yeah, so
lots of things here.
Lots of things here. People have lost a lot in the emotional categories. So, what do you think that you lost, Sarita?
Oh, I've lost almost everything on this list.
I think so too.
I mean, one thing that stood out to me was horseback riding. Like, there's a weight limit, and I hadn't gone horseback riding in 20 years. And I went on vacation to Hilton Head and was able to ride a horse, and it was so fun. It was so exciting to me. They weigh you before you get on the horse. And I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, everyone's going to see that. But anyway, I made the weight cut, got on the horse, rode for a couple hours. It was like amazing.
That is awesome. That's awesome. So similar, I think I lost like almost all these things. Not sobriety. I
didn't lose sobriety. I mean, because I'm not a drinker.
Yeah, but we can touch on that in a second. But I was able to ride roller coasters this year with my kids for the first time in forever. I'm so super excited about that. So I did lose that inability. I'm also not worried about the camera.
Oh, that's a big thing. Like, I never wanted my picture taken. Now it's like,
I don't care anymore.
Take it all the time.
Yeah. Me too.
Together. We take pictures when we go places.
You do. For sure. And then seating, like seating in restaurants, that was a big deal to me. A really, really big deal to me. Like, I would even like Google restaurants before going there to see what kind of seating they had. Right. Like if it was an event for like work or a family event or something like that, I would Google the seating. And if it was like seating that wouldn't work for me, like all booths or chairs that had armrests or cheap plastic chairs, then I would not go. Like I just wouldn't, I'd have to cancel, have a reason that I couldn't go. And, even traveling with my family before we would go to a restaurant, I always Googled it and looked at the pictures. So that's a real thing. That's a real thing that people overweight struggle with.
Right, and I think people that aren't overweight don't realize the things that we struggle with.
Right.
Previous
to
having
those are
surgery.
Grand losses.
Yeah.
We're glad
to lose all that.
Glad to lose these things. It's sad to lose friends, I guess.
It is sad to lose friends.
It is exciting to lose some of these other things.
Yeah.
Anxieties, people mention that they lost all these anxieties, and sometimes you lose the anxiety for the one thing, but oftentimes if you have anxiety, you just have anxiety. So sometimes the anxieties just transfer.
You create new anxiety.
Like the restaurant as an example. Some people now stress more about or have anxiety over what's on the menu.
Right. What am I going to eat?
What am I going to eat?
Right. I'll Google the menu and I'll look at it before I go. Yeah. I would do it for patients if they're going somewhere and they'll say, hey, can you help me? They'll send me the menu and I'll look through it with them. And I'm like, well, you should try it. This is good. This is good. I am so happy to do that because I want them to be successful. So it's just another thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when you become like a seasoned vet post-op, you don't really worry so much about the menus anymore.
No, there's always something you can
There's always something to eat. But in the beginning stages,
you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. You're like
just so accustomed to making your own food and being prepared.
Right.
then you have to start going out and you're like, oh no, what can I eat?
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
But meat and vegetables. Everybody everywhere has meat and vegetables.
Right. And if it comes with something that you can't have, just say, hold this, hold the bun.
Yeah.
Don't put potatoes on my plate, or, don't give me bread with my meal. You can do so many things.
Yeah, and if you happen to have another post-bariatric friend, you can share appetizers.
Yes, you can share an appetizer like we do. Yes, we do appetizer and still have leftovers.
We do that.
We're cheap dates.
We do that,
right?
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
We get to choose better places.
Right.
Fancier places.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're just going to eat less.
We're not having entrees.
True. So, also, you lose all those fears and anxieties, and you gain all that self-confidence.
Right.
And of course, because you feel better, you look better.
You take better care of yourself.
You
do. Like
self-worth.
Yeah, like I do a regular pedicure. I get my hair, highlighted every 6 weeks, and I just do things for me. Like, and I feel better. I look better. I always want to look my best.
Mm-hmm.
Where I didn't before. I didn't care.
Right.
I didn't care.
Right.
I felt like no one else cared either.
Yeah, so, I cared before.
Well, I did care,
but now I really care.
I really care.
Like I put that. It's like I care about me.
Mm-hmm, I do.
I don't care what other people think. I
am worth it.
I am worth it.
Right.
You are worth it.
We have self-worth now.
It's true.
Yeah.
Self-worth.
Yeah.
And then I want to touch on too. So people have lost the compassion for others overweight, and to be honest, I've been through that phase. Mm-hmm. I think at the end of the day, I do still have compassion.
I do.
But maybe I feel sorry for people sometimes. I don't really know how to say that. But I just want everybody to go from where I was to where I am.
Yeah, like I want everyone to know what is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could, change something in your life, and you could be so much more active and healthier. Like at my age, I'll be 59 next Sunday, actually. Mm-hmm. And again, my health is my priority. And
nobody believes how old she is. There's no way she's 59.
I am. But
I don't believe her.
That's my health is my priority.
And it shows.
Yeah, thank you.
It shows just in that, you're not 59. Like
I don't feel 59.
You don't
I don't feel like it or act like it.
But also like I was saying, I've heard people say this and they feel like it's taboo to feel or think that way. You're not alone. I've had conversations with so many people who have had surgery, and they go through those phases too, and it doesn't make you a bad person to look at another overweight person gorging themselves on food and think, ugh. Like it doesn't make you a bad person to think that.
Maybe it's like, ooh, I used to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or for me, one time I saw this young lady she actually had 2 double quarter pounders, a very large fry, and a large drink. And I just remember as I was walking past her, I remember thinking, you don't have to do that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying this girl was miserable. I know me. She could have been the happiest human in the world. But my thought was more for her health.
Yes, health.
And I was thinking, because she was very overweight, and I was thinking, you don't have to do that. You can be healthy. Mm-hmm. And I felt condemned for thinking that. But then in another conversation, I found I'm not alone. So I wanted to say, don't feel alone if you have gone through that. So, all right. So back to our next subject. Nutrition.
Or nutrition. Yes.
Yeah, nutritional
Survey
category.
Says,
sweet tooth, obsession to eat, and passion for eating.
Mm-hmm. Ability to enjoy dairy and other foods you were once passionate about. Mm-hmm. Events surrounded by meals, like everything is focused around food when you go to certain events.
Yeah, and even hosting events, we think, what kind of food are we going to provide for this event? And so nutritionally, you kind of lose that focus. You lose the thought of planning events around food.
Right. However, I do love to cook.
This is true.
I do. I love to cook. But then I'm like, well, I can't eat all this food. I can't eat this type of food, but I still love it. So I end up feeding other people. I feed her.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like we are post bariatric, but they both love food, just in small quantities.
Right. And we focus on our protein first. So
yeah,
really.
Except when I ate that cracker with that jelly on it earlier.
Okay. I'm not sure where you got that cracker.
Who knows? No, really. So back to that. For me, some of the things that I lost in nutritionally, somebody had said, their taste changed. They lost their sweet tooth, or that their taste buds changed. And for me, it was the pickle switch.
What's a pickle switch?
Okay.
I've never heard of that.
Okay, so I call it the pickle switch. And so I loved dill pickles prior to surgery. Like, I love them. I ate them all the time. They're really good filler food. Like, if you're, pre-surgery.
Right.
You don't really need filler food post-surgery. But pre-surgery, you've ate your meat, you've ate your vegetables, and you're still hungry. You can eat pickles. Like, you can literally eat all the pickles you want. So I would eat pickles. Like, I remember walking around with a jar of pickles at one point in time.
Okay.
I like pickles.
Yeah,
so
pickles
dill pickles, I love them. But and sweet pickles, I hated them. They were disgusting. So this is where the pickle switch comes in. I can't stand dill pickles anymore. They're so gross. Like when I bite into one, I make that face, it's like horrible. I hate it. But I love sweet pickles now. They're so good. Like the homemade bread and butter.
Oh, I do like bread and butter pickles.
Yeah,
homemade.
See, they're so good. They gotta be the homemade, not just like store-bought mass production. But, like Granny's homemade bread and butter. They're so good.
Right from the garden.
Yes, so good.
So for me, it was eggs and salad.
Really? But eggs are like my favorite.
I'm almost 6 years post-op, and I still try to eat eggs, but for some reason it just kind of sits funny in my stomach, and it just doesn't agree.
Aww.
And salad, it just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
And I still try it occasionally just to see if anything's changed, but it hasn't really changed, and I still try.
Pre-surgery, when you think healthy food, people's minds always go to salad.
Right.
And pre-surgery, that's great because get your protein in, and then you can literally eat all the vegetables you want, especially raw. That makes salad, unless you just completely douse it with dressing, but that makes salad a good choice pre-surgery. But post-surgery, it's really a pointless food.
It is.
It's like there's not a lot of nutritional value. You only have so much room, and by the
There's
time you get your
water and lettuce.
Yeah, and by the time you get your protein in, you don't have a lot of room left
for
vegetables.
roughage.
Yeah, so that's probably why I don't sit just like it just feels weird.
I still try. I'm still gonna try for the rest of my life. I'm gonna try.
But I went from eating salads like this, like big salads, like well, I didn't eat really big, but now my salads are
like a bite.
They're so little.
I mean, I can still cook with eggs, like baking or things like that, but just like to eat a scrambled egg,
no, not boiled either.
Nope.
Isn't that strange?
It is strange.
It's so strange.
Very strange.
Yeah, and my taste buds change for other things too. Yeah, even the way certain foods smell changed for me.
I like to cook a lot, and I feel like it tastes different to me. It tastes different to that other person,
right? Like, are they just making it different?
Yeah, it really makes me think.
Yeah, like I used to really like the chicken salad at one of the local grocery stores, and now I don't like it anymore. And like a certain brand of pimento cheese, I loved it, and now I don't like it anymore. Yeah. And I think, did that company or that place start making it different, or is it just me?
It's just us.
It's just me, because everybody else thinks it's just the same. But that's a real thing. So taste and smell changes happen because of the fluctuating hormones.
Right.
And so that's a real thing, and it's really weird how much hormones affect our bodies.
Right.
And what we do.
They
control so much. So much. And people don't really think about hormones in men, but it's a thing.
Men have hormones?
It's a thing.
We all have hormones. And when you have surgery, everything gets out of whack for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. And so people had mentioned that the passion for eating and events, we touched on that a little bit, but some of the wine that you learn that food is fuel.
Food is fuel.
Food is fuel.
You need it to fuel your body. And while you're fueling your body, make sure that you're making good choices, because that's what got us here in the first place.
Yeah. Well,
so junk.
So these days, you've lost some of these things because you eat less, going back to like friendships and dining out and even just like taste changes in events and things like that.
Right.
You know, you eat less. It doesn't take you long to eat
you,
at all.
You want quality food.
Yes.
I do.
Quality
over quantity.
Yes.
I would rather eat a really, healthy meal than not eat crap.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, because then you feel like lethargic and tired, and you're hungry again in an hour, and next thing you know, you're gaining weight.
Right.
By eating crappy.
And so, like, with like the events too, you just have more important things to do than food.
Right. Yeah.
Your new interests.
Right.
Yeah. And so somebody mentioned they can't chug fluids anymore. No. So you can't do that.
No, can't do that.
Why can't we do that anymore, Sarita?
Nope. You can't chug, can't drink with your meal. I still follow the 30-minute rule.
I do too. For the most part.
Yeah, because, it's a lifelong thing for me. I've tried it. Doesn't feel good when I drink, right away. So I just continue with the 30-minute rule. Yeah,
so your stomach's smaller. Of course you can't chug.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And then dairy. Somebody said that they lost their ability to enjoy dairy. I did that too.
I mean, I can eat cheese and other like yogurt and things, but like I'm not a real big milk drinker. But if I do, it's Fairlife because it's lactose free. But I not a big milk drinker.
So I used to love milk pre-sleeve, and then after sleeve up to DS, I never really wanted it. Like I never
craved it.
There was nothing I ever did where I was like, oh, I need a glass of milk. Because I think most of the time when you want a glass of milk, it's because you're eating sweets. And I didn't really eat a whole lot of sweets before, but I really didn't eat them after
Or like
surgery.
Milk and cereal. Like
I didn't eat cereal anymore.
Yeah, I don't eat cereal. I don't even have any in my house.
And so then when I got, not too long ago, just a few months ago, so post even DS, I decided I wanted some cereal. So I realized that the milk, because I was like, well, it's kind of like eting soup, so it'd be okay.
No.
Because originally I was like, I'm not going to eat cereal because you can't eat and drink at the same time.
It's not okay.
But
I tried it once.
Yeah, and when I would drink milk or eat ice cream, I just got my stomach all messed up.
So,
Yeah, so lactose intolerance after bariatric surgery is a thing.
It is a thing. It's not a guaranteed thing, but it does happen. It's something that could happen.
Yep. Yeah, and I guess I have developed that because ice cream and milk don't go well with me, which is fine because I don't need those things.
No, we don't need those things.
I don't need it. You don't need it. We don't need it. So, all right. Well, those were our categories and our answers. They were all real answers.
They were all real answers from a real post I made on Facebook.
Yeah, real patients.
Yeah, and so I hope that, everyone who, sees this podcast, gets some good information. And thank you to all the patients who did respond.
Thank you. It wasn't even posted for podcast content. Like
it was just something. It was an afterthought. It was like, hey, let's do a podcast on this because we had so many real answers.
Yeah, and
from real patients.
Real patients, and there was some of them were really fun answers.
They were.
I mean, losing friends is not fun. Some people lost some family, but those things are not fun. But some of the answers are really fun. If you're in our group, if you're a patient in the group, go find that post and you can drop your comment or just kind of read the actual verbiage from the other patients. It was really fun. To read. And so this does actually conclude our episode. But hey, what have you lost? If you've already had bariatric surgery, and what have you lost? You've
drop
lost
us a comment.
Yeah, you've lost weight, but you also lost what? So drop us a comment. Tell us what you lost, and then also. Listen, we're always open. If you have questions that you want answered about bariatric surgery, feel free to call or text or email us. And our info is in the info section and also at the end. So have a good night.
Bye-bye. Till next time.
Next time. If you have any questions or want to share your bariatric weight loss journey, you can call or text us at 480-999-4826. Or send an email to podcast@mexicobariatriccenter.com. You can also follow Mexico Bariatric Center on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Keep in mind, these are the opinions of the host The views represented do not reflect or define the values of Mexico Bariatric Center. This podcast is sponsored by Emerge Bariatrics and Mexico Bariatric Center. Please visit MexicoBariatricCenter.com for more information.